Imagine being locked inside a hollow bronze bull as a fire slowly heats the metal beneath you. Your screams echo out, twisted into the sound of a bull's roar. This isn't a nightmare. This was the Brazen Bull, one of history's most terrifying torture devices. Welcome to history's darkest chapter, the worst torture methods ever invented. The first method is the Iron Maiden, a coffin-shaped chamber lined with spikes. Victims were shut inside, pierced but not killed instantly, left to bleed out in agony. But historians now believe the Iron Maiden may never have been used at all. It may have been nothing more than a myth. The second method is the Brazen Bull. Invented in ancient Greece, this hollow bronze statue was designed for human roasting. A fire was lit beneath it, and the victim was locked inside. Their screams traveled through pipes, making it sound like the bull was alive. It's said the inventor of this device was executed inside his own creation. Next, we have Scaphism, also known as the boats. The Persians stripped their victim naked, covered them in milk and honey, and trapped them between two wooden hulls. Insects would feast on the flesh for days. Death came slowly, through infection and madness. Another infamous device was the breaking wheel. In medieval Europe, criminals were tied to a giant wheel. Their limbs were smashed one by one with a hammer before the broken body was left on display. Sometimes the victim survived for days, begging for death. Perhaps the most infamous of all was Lingchi, or death by 1,000 cuts. In Imperial China, executioners sliced the body piece by piece, prolonging suffering as long as possible. This method was only banned in 1905, shockingly recent. One of the cruelest punishments was impalement. Vlad the Impaler, the real-life inspiration for Dracula, perfected this method. Victims were stabbed onto a sharpened pole which was raised upright. Death could take hours or even days. He once displayed 20,000 corpses at once to terrify invading armies. Then there's the Pear of Anguish. This bizarre device was allegedly inserted into the victim's mouth, or worse. A screw expanded its metal petals, tearing flesh from the inside. Some historians debate whether it was ever really used. Another brutal punishment was being drawn and quartered. In France and England, traitors had their limbs tied to horses, which were driven in opposite directions. The body was torn apart before cheering crowds. And finally, there were simpler methods. A red-hot iron crown pressed onto a rebel's head, or molten metal poured into wounds. These may not have had fancy names, but they were no less horrifying. These methods may sound medieval and alien, but they remind us of a darker truth. Human cruelty has no limit when power and fear are at stake. The question is, have we really changed? Which of these torture methods horrified you the most?